Our price expectations for AMC happen today despite the market's turbulent behavior. We may see a prior bar retrace towards the upside, but it's important for us to understand the dynamics over what's presently happening in the broader markets. So let's pop open that hood to catch a glimpse into price for the coming days. Welcome to the channel on this Money Monday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into AMC. Let's kill them, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do everything necessary to get this thing to live long, thrive, and survive. Let's go ahead and take a look at AMC here. This is the hourly chart, just to give you a glimpse into the price action for what happened today, right? This is your pre-market area right in here. This is intraday price action, and this blue zone here, if you can see it in the very background, very, very dim, this is your post-price action, right? So we were expecting a drop of price, well, actually a drop in the price right into this area here. 493, 91, and 488. Yesterday in the analysis, we spoke about a potential continuation to the downside just in case we were to see some further downside. And here it is. We're looking at 483, 2, and 1, right? In the very, very tiny range here for the probabilities of price, right? So now I think that we may actually hit this target. How is that possible? Well, let's take a look at the immediate short-term time frame. And I'm going to go ahead and display to you something called a dead cat bounce, right? So this is immediate price action downside, a quick recovery here. And then we're getting this curvature on top, right? This usually signals a dead cat bounce, right? So let's go ahead and take the implied target or the price objective, which is taking a trend line from the very top side of that dead cat to the very bottom of that support. And from here, we apply this trend line to the very bottom side. And guess what? We are given exactly the 50% of our targets at $4.82. Highlight this, 482 at the blue. Highlight the white right here. Bam, 482 on the white, right? So that is telling us here that the price action that we were already identifying could have already been of higher probability, right? So very, very good stuff here. I do think that we have a little bit of further distribution here before we can start creating the weekly time frame pullback. Remember that we talked about this, right? Let's go ahead and just take a look at that weekly close and find out how that's looking for us, right? So this is that weekly bar, right? This one right over here. And it's showing us that, yeah, it's showing us that we could have some continuation here, just very, very short term into the bottom sides of these candles here before we start retracing back towards that upside, right? Yeah, let's go ahead and just pay attention to price on AMC because there is a probability of continuation. So why don't we go ahead and just validate whether that downside is actually going to happen or not. Now, guys, please remember that the reason I know what's, or not know, right? Just the reason why I'm able to give you higher probability outcomes within price action is because, yes, I am a stock trading instructor, and I'm going ahead and reminding you that the beginners charting and mentorship program will be starting here in about a week and a half. And I want to make sure that you guys get your seats. Actually enroll in them, right? Take the seats because they're starting to fill up and the enrollment is going to be closed here pretty soon. So make sure, get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at Gmail so you can get all that information, right? Get the syllabus, the disclaimer, all of that stuff, right? So remember, it's going to be for the beginners charting and trading program, and it's going to be a mentorship that's going to be around 8 weeks long. So make sure to get in touch with me there ASAP, right, guys? So let's go ahead and continue on the analysis here. This is the hourly time frame, back at it, right? We spoke about a potential inverse head and shoulders. In fact, we can see it from the 4-hour time frame as well, right? So we can see here that we have a shoulder here, right? Larger head down here and a shoulder right over here, right? So we can see that complete formation right there. This would be its neckline here. That's that neckline regression. And taking that formation, its price target, right? It would be simply by taking a trend line from that center of the regression all the way back to the lowest part of the head, apply it to the center side of the right-hand shoulder, and that would be giving you a target of around $5.68, right? So that's presently what I'm observing here, even though price action is still, hovering around that 485 and potentially dropping around that 482, it's still fine. We are still within that regression here of this inverse head and shoulders. So psychologically speaking, we have a reason to move back up into those valuations right now. For those of you who were able to trade with us today, yeah, you were able to figure out exactly how we're able to execute, right? So congratulations and welcome to the trading team, the new members, right? So what I'm talking about here, team, is of course the trading team. So go ahead and use those links to get yourself into the trading team, right? So and these links are actually going to expire here pretty soon. So make sure to take advantage of them for the one time fee to join the ARCa Bulls trading team, where I am trading and executing live in front of you, right? And it is not anything that I'm using as a trade alerts type of thing. I am trading the financial markets with you live, right? And as we go, right? So anyway, team, yeah, let's go ahead and identify the probabilities here with stochastic momentum, right? So I want you to identify that stochastic momentum is down here and volatility and linear is right up here, right? We're at critical contraction yet again. We have a downside pivot right here on stochastic momentum. This momentum indicator is going to tell us the bias over direction coming in, right? So yeah, 4-hour time frame still indicating a potential downside. We're already kind of identifying some of those lows right down there, of course. Let's go ahead and see where that downside kind of subsides, right? So the 6-hour time frame still showing downside. We're also contracting, right? So that downside could be losing steam. Same situation here with the 8-hour time frame. So where is the downside actually gaining traction instead of losing steam? So it looks like from the 4-hour time frame, yeah, it's lost all its steam on that downside. So what about the 3-hour? Does it show? Okay, so the 3-hour is showing us that there is expansion and there is a very, very, very prominent nosedive here in the gravitational zone of stochastic momentum. So that means that there could be even still a little bit of further downside, but let's go ahead and find out where that ends. The 3-hour time frame here is already showing a parabolic upside expansion with that upside momentum, right? So that's telling us that yes, we may actually be respecting that 4-hour time frame or that 3-hour or that 6-hour time frame contraction phase. So when you're getting contraction on volatility, that just means that people are starting to lose interest at that point. So that means that, yeah, the short sellers or the downside here, the people that are betting the downside, are coming to a take profit zone or a demand zone, of which is of critical importance. And that usually are the places that we tend to look for entries, right? So very, very good here. We are near a floor. It does not mean that we can't go past this area of 481. In fact, just in case we do, I can go ahead and provide you here with a secondary target, and I may, or the third target, right? And I may use the daily time frame here to identify that probability, right? Another very tight range, it looks like here. So let me just go ahead and kind of put it in just like that. And I would say around 476 to 478 could be the very bottom line here as we move along, right? So let's go ahead and put the receipts on that for our probabilities of price action, right? So we're going to put it just like this and just like that, and also hide this little middle target right there, right? So always mind the 50% of your ranges here. But so far, so good. It looks like we're going to be coming down to these targets here in the immediate short term. It may happen during the after hours before price action actually continues towards that, before price action decides to start its reaccumulation process, right? Now, if we are able to identify any important moving average during the day, right? Let's go ahead and do that now and see if we have anything in line for us, right? So, okay, I guess we definitely do. I want you to go ahead and identify that the target that I just put out here, that is around 476, is absolutely where the daily SMA 100 is meeting, right? So that is very nice. There could be a bounce from there. And the target that we were talking about just yesterday in the very, very lowest potential, that's where your SMA 200 is. So don't doubt that we could reach that 470 to 478 total range here before price action starts a reaccumulation process, right? So just remember, okay, make sure to manage your risk. Make sure to keep in mind here not to over leverage during these times. Now, the market dynamics that we were just talking about earlier, guys, is the fact that we have the quadruple witching coming in on Friday, right? That's going to be your stock options. It's going to be your futures contracts. It's going to be derivatives. It's going to be all kinds of options stopping or contracts expiring on that Friday, right? The quadruple witching. And also, please remember, we have the rate cut coming from the FOMC or from the Federal Reserve on this 18th, right? So guys, please bear in mind that is absolutely happening here, and there could be continuation of price action towards the downside or the upside here. We just got to be vigilant over what's going to be happening here in the coming days. Okay, guys? So I want to go ahead and just remind you one more time, make sure to get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse@gmail so that you can become a part and a master student here. I am now super proud to announce that I have been teaching almost 300 master students now. So become part of the 300 here, and we'll be able to get this thing rolling right. You guys will be absolutely my special 300, right? I absolutely love it, man. So thank you so much for watching, team. Please get in touch with me with any questions at all, right? And I think this is a pretty good place to leave off here. So let's go ahead and do it. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Ever. I need you to do your own due diligence and everything will be cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day. And I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios.